Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to day 2 of National Work Experience Week. My name's Heather Reynolds, I'm from Career Map and I'll be your host this morning. This morning's session is being led by the B2W Group. They're here and they're going to be telling us all about how to get into the creative industries such as graphic design, digital marketing, coding, cybersecurity. So as the presentation goes on, you can ask questions on the right-hand side of your screen. There's a chat box. You can put your questions into there. You can ask the team throughout the presentation, and we'll also do a Q&A at the end as well. So any questions that you've got, pop into the chat box and we'll ask them at the right time. The session is also being recorded, so if you want to have it for reference, it'll be emailed to you next week or so. I think without any further ado, it's my cue to nip off, hand over to the team, and I'll see you for the Q&A.
Thanks so much, Heather, and thanks everybody for joining us this morning. I really do appreciate it. My name's Dean Watson. I'm joined this morning by my colleague from our marketing team, Ollie, who we'll be talking to a little bit in more depth later on. Just to give you a little bit of background about the B2W Group. So the B2W Group is a large national provider of training and development in a wide variety of different subjects, from lorry driving right through to health and social care, and for the last few years IT and digital apprenticeships, and that's why we're here to talk to you today. So my name's Dean Watson. I'm the lead on our apprenticeships division. I've been working in business now for around 25, 26 years, 12 years as a digital marketer, and then 10 years in this industry in training and development. So my role, I'm responsible for supporting skills coaches and educators and teachers to support you as apprentices, okay, to get through your learning journey. I'm a member of the Institute of Leadership and Management, the Chartered Institute of Marketing, and I'm also an Adobe Certified Associate using Photoshop. I'm a qualified coach, trainer and assessor, and I'm also a qualified project manager. So quite a number of skills I've picked up along the way in my education career. Okay, I'm going to just pop Ollie on. Ollie is here with us. Ollie, I will get him to introduce himself a lot later on, but Ollie works for the Back to Work group as a digital marketer. He's gone through the full apprenticeship journey. He's the company's People First champion and 26-year-old, and you'll hear a lot more from Ollie later on as we go through the presentation. Okay. So I think what we wanted to talk to you about today is about digital influences. And I think the question to every single one of you is, are you a digital influencer? And I think by the end of this presentation, I think you might be able to give yourself a bit of an answer. You either are or you well could be. Okay. Who's seen some of these before? I'm absolutely sure that you'll know what every one of these logos and who they belong to. So these are examples of channels that are constantly changing, channels that are constantly evolving. Now, during our digital marketing apprenticeship, you're going to get the opportunity to work really closely with each of these 9 different platforms, these 9 different channels. And actually, as digital influencers, we're going to get the opportunity to really influence in some of these areas. 2.91 billion active users on Facebook. 1.6 billion on Twitter. And I'm sure, and I'm really sure that a lot of you are using TikTok. 732 million active users, and that grows every single day. I've put together a few examples of the types of digital marketing campaigns that companies are doing right now. And it's people like us, people like me, and people like you that are doing this stuff. So from left to right, we've got Multiverse, who are another national apprenticeship provider, who quite rightly noted on their recent ad that, you know, going to university is great. It does leave you in about £50,000 of debt, and it takes 4 years. Whereas an apprenticeship, as we know, comes with a salary. And some companies will pay, you know, up to £20,000 and can take around about 12 to 15 months. What's really exciting about apprenticeships these days is that you can study right up to degree level. So we start on occasion at level 2 or level 3. Level 3 are our apprenticeships, and you can study right up to level 6 and level 7, which could be a master's. Okay.
Dean, can I just interject, because we've had some questions about this actually and a few comments.
Yeah, of course.
First of all, I don't know whether you've seen in the chat, but there's absolutely loads of people who were commenting on your slide before about all the logos, saying that everybody's seen them. There's somebody, Nick says that they're more surprised more people use Facebook than YouTube. That was an interesting comment. And then Charlie said that that they saw that Facebook is now being used mostly by parents and young people are leaving, and they've asked why that is.
Yeah, I think as social media evolves, you know, and we're getting the new types of social media, so TikTok, for instance, you know, I think younger people are more attracted to the instantaneousness of things like video and photograph, which is what we've got from things like Instagram and TikTok. And I probably would agree, actually, that Facebook is probably used by, I was going to say my mum, but my mum would be our younger people that are on the calls, grandmothers probably. But people like me use Facebook. So people over the age of 40.
Don't give too much away.
If I can say that, Heather. So, you know, and I think that's because a lot of the businesses that I like and follow are also on Facebook. You know, and I can quite easily follow those businesses. You know, and I want to do as a. Am I an older person? Is that the way to describe myself? I don't know. I'm gonna, just for this call, I'll describe myself as an older person. As an older person, I haven't got time to sit and scrolling through videos. You know, I've got kids. I do a full-time job, as you can see. You know, and I haven't got time to be sat scrolling through videos. Whereas on Facebook, I find myself being able to just look and just follow those businesses that I'm really interested in, and friends that I'm interested in as well.
Yeah, brilliant. A couple of other questions here. I don't know whether you're going to cover these as you go along, so just give me a nod, the nod.
Yeah.
Melanie says, how do you stay up to date with trends on each of these platforms?
Yeah, great question. So we work really closely with on the online training tools. So Facebook Blueprint, for instance, is a great tool. It's free. It's a learning platform. It's an academy, and they offer updates once, say, fortnightly out at the moment. They've gone from monthly to fortnightly updates, and you can look at the updates in what's happening with Facebook. But that also covers Facebook, Instagram, you know, the metaverse kind of platforms, and same for a lot of the other ones as well. Twitter has something really similar, as does LinkedIn. I think the other thing is that if you Google social media journals, there's often lots of journals. There's white papers available that can give you more detail about what's going on in the social media environment, really.
Brilliant,
Yeah.
interesting. Thank you. Ahmed says, oh no, I'm going to do Shelley next, actually. Shelley says, what's the most powerful social media campaign that you've seen? Shelley, I don't know whether you can just pop this in the chat. Do you mean social media campaign as in from the organisation promoting themselves, or do you mean brand campaign on a social media platform? I think we could ask Shelley to just confirm that actually before we go off on a tangent.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk just slightly later on about I've got an example of a company that I'm going to look at in just shortly. Whether it's the greatest campaign, not sure. I'm sure people have got their own ideas of what is successful and what that type of stuff. So what I think is successful might not be the same thing for you as being successful. On this slide that I was just coming on to, I have put some really successful campaigns. So as I was saying, the one with Multiverse is a really successful campaign because what it does is it states out really interesting facts that people kind of go, oh yeah, that's right, I hadn't thought of that before. With the university versus apprenticeships, what I was just about to say is that university is a great option for some people, not for others. Our apprenticeships, as you'll hear as we go through this presentation, actually are more hands-on. And rather than proving just your knowledge, what you are going to be proving is your knowledge and your skill. And really, that's what an apprenticeship is about. And you'll hear that as we go through. The Mitchell and Webb one in the middle was a great campaign by Apple. It was about the viruses from PCs, and that actually Macs don't really get many viruses, if any at all. Was a great campaign from Apple. The one at the top, I hope you recognize this. It was a really good. It was a great advert. It was Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra camera phone. The spider falls in love with the phone because it's got the 4 little eyes, and it falls. Brilliant campaign, and really worth googling if you have some searching it up, as they say. Once we've finished, it's quite a cool campaign. And then the one at the bottom, Coca-Cola influenced that red color for Santa's outfit, and has done over the years. And when we see that advert, we know it's Christmas.
Yeah, we do. Holidays are coming, and we know that, don't we?
Absolutely.
I'm going to just disappear and let you carry on. There's loads of questions coming through, so I think we'll have loads for the Q&A, but I don't want to keep stalling you. So
yeah, no, of course.
Carry on, and for any relevant questions that come up for a slide, I'll
please do. Yeah, please do. Quite happy to just pause if needs be. I think looking at how marketing's changed recently, in recent years, the use of online marketing has never been more important to businesses around the world. The vast audiences online, as well as low-cost advertising, makes online marketing a no-brainer for the vast majority of businesses around the world. That's not to say that offline marketing doesn't have its place in today's world. TV, radio, and print ads allow companies to reach and resonate with audience by providing memorable ads that can often be taken home with us, like the Samsung one I mentioned just a minute ago. With new digital technologies and platforms being introduced, such as TikTok, it's important in marketing to keep on top of newly introduced tools and trends to make sure our activity is always reaching the maximum number of viewers as possible. However, it's equally important to make sure you understand your business and your business's target audience to identify where you most likely are to reach them with any marketing activity. Having a clear idea of where to find your audience will allow you to utilize the most out of the resources. So things like social media platforms, online, offline tools that you've got at your disposal for the best and for the best overall cost for your business, really. Okay. So what I want to do now, Heather's very good and kindly, very going to play a video. And this was taken by one of our apprenticeship employers. It's a lovely, lovely lady called Christina, and she works for Image Source, one of our employers. Okay, thanks, Heather.
I'll play it now if we just turn mics off.
Perfect, thanks.
Hello, my name is Christina Vaughan. I am the founder and CEO of Image Source. Image Source is an established premium photo library. We've been going for over 2 decades. So when I first started the business over 20 years ago, most of our employees then were all graduates. Often in the past, graduate entry was almost a prerequisite for working in this sort of agency. I think as the world has changed, there's so much more online learning and peer group sharing. What we found is that we're looking for people now who actually got an attitude of achievement, who want to succeed. And I think for us, it's less important what their academic qualifications are, but what their attitude is. And I think developing your attitude, your understanding, your knowledge now actually comes much better from apprenticeships, because you can learn on the job, you can learn in a much more flexible way, and you can apply your learnings to your job and your role. So the great thing about apprenticeships is that you can learn, you can develop your intellectual training, but you can apply that on the job and actually learn from your peers in an environment where other people are working, doing, acting, getting engaged. And I think that's a really, really important lesson to help you on your career path.
Thanks for that, Heather. If you could just pop us back to their presentation, thank you. So that's just an oversight from one of our employers who has been recruiting apprentices for a number of years now, and finds that actually the benefit of an apprentice in her business is brilliant, especially younger ones who have got interests around the digital environment. Okay, over to you again then, Heather. So I've got a little bit of a poll that I'd like you just to have a look at the answers on there. So the question is, what essential marketing skills are required for 2022 and beyond? So what essential marketing skills are required for 2022 and beyond? What do they have to do, Heather? Did it pop up?
Can you see it now?
I can see it, yeah.
Brilliant.
I can see it.
So for everybody here, it's on the right hand side, it's just underneath the chat icon. Yeah, we found it.
Fabulous.
Charlie says it's only letting him give one option, but they think all, and Sarah's saying all of them. Yeah, the thing is with this is you can only pick one. So the general consensus here actually is that it's all of the options on the people saying in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, Ollie's saying all. Laura, Mo. Melanie as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, good. So you're absolutely right. All of these. We undertook. This is a wider research task that we undertook of our complete learner base. So of nearly 300 learners in the last kind of few years. So content creation and copywriting, social media and paid advertising, design and video, web development, coding, data and reporting and email marketing using quite a number of these different packages there and softwares that you can see on here. So the social media sites, Squarespace, WordPress for web development is another one, MailChimp for email marketing. They're all essential marketing skills that you need to be able to run your digital marketing campaigns. And again, actually, as we talk about our digital marketing apprenticeship in just one second, all of these things you would cover on our apprenticeship.
Can I just ask another question here? Charlie's asked a good question, which we brand around PPC an awful lot, but Charlie's asking, when people say PPC marketing, what do they mean by that? So if you could clarify, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, of course. So PPC is pay-per-click advertising. You can do this in a number of places. So I think, thanks, Dave. Yeah, it's Google Ads. So you can do this in a number of places. Google, as Dave has just said, and what you do is you pay a fee, usually per click or per 1,000 of clicks, to have your advert featured higher up in Google rankings. So if you were going to be searching for men's or ladies size 5 shoes, okay, and I paid and I made a payment to Google, my advert for my shoes that I was selling would come up higher up on that search ranking. And as Charlie has just said there, that's the other place that you can do that. So you're right, Charlie, you can do that on social media as well. Facebook, Instagram, you can pay per click or per 1,000 of clicks to get your brand or product seen. That's right. Fabulous. Okay, so they were essential marketing skills for 2022 and beyond, and actually, I think each of one of those, you could be a specialist in one of those areas. What generally happens with our digital marketers is they'll learn everything a digital marketer would do, and as they finish their qualifications, what they generally do is they specialize in one of those areas. Okay. So I just want to start talking to you, let you know about some of the routes that we have available at Back to Work. So we offer 3 3-week taster courses. They're for over 19 years old, and they're a mixture of level 1 and level 2 qualifications. Each pathway has at least one industry recognized qualification. The first one we have is our digital technologies path. Now, it's for those of you that want to become marketing gurus. So the digital technologies pathway is designed for people wanting to pursue a career in digital marketing and advertising. And like I've said, it's a 3-week course. And once you've completed that, the opportunity then would be, if it's an interest to you, you could then go on to do the digital marketing apprenticeship, for instance. Our creative skills pathway. So this is an opportunity for you to become a master of design. The creative skills pathway is for people with an interest in web design and development, in video gaming, okay, programming, and also digital projects. And that's the creative skills pathway. Our third and final pathway is our cybersecurity path. So for you to become a tech wizard. So the cybersecurity pathway is for people with an interest in programming, IT support, networking, and security. Within all these courses, within all 3 of these pathways, you'll also complete employability modules, and they're designed to help you market yourself for your future career. So you'll be looking at things like how to write a good, strong CV, how to do an interview. Okay, so there are 3 pathways that are available. for over 19s, and they're 3 weeks each, level 1 and level 2. Okay. So moving on then to our apprenticeships, and I'm sure this is what you've all been waiting for. So the first we've talked about a little bit is our digital marketer at level 3. Okay. Now the digital marketer level 3 apprenticeship, the primary role of a digital marketer is to define, design, build, and implement digital campaigns across a variety of online and social media platforms to drive customer acquisition, customer engagement, and customer retention. During this 15-month apprenticeship, you'll take part in various knowledge modules, including business and marketing principles, coding, and media creation. After your first 12 months of knowledge modules, you'll be assessed in the last 3 months with an endpoint assessment, or EPA, as it's known. And the EPA will consist of 3 projects to showcase your learning and ability to successfully add value to your business. The marketer will work to marketing briefs and instructions. And a digital marketer would normally report into a digital marketing manager, a marketing manager, or an IT manager. Okay. So that's our digital marketer apprenticeship.
Can I just interject again here? Kia's just asked which one offers the best career progression and the salary once it's completed.
Wow. Okay. So I have got a little note about salaries and things. Let me do that afterwards, if that's all right? It's on my list of things that I will talk about, because there's 5 I want to introduce you to. So okay. let me do that after.
Okay.
And I promise.
Can I ask another one? Tell me again if it's better to pass. Okay. Sophie's asked, if you fail the EPA, would you get a resit?
Absolutely. Okay. Do you know what? I have to say, we, Back to Work Group, as an apprenticeship provider, we have a pass rate of 98%. So 98% of our apprentices who do the endpoint assessment pass first time. Those 2% who don't pass first time, and if you think about, actually 2% is not many people, because we do hundreds and hundreds of apprentices. Those 2% pass on the second time. Okay. And generally, we work with, our awarding body is BCS, the British Computer Society, and they are the flagship of IT and digital qualifications. They're an institute as well. What they're really good at is telling us what you did well and what you did not so well at endpoint assessment. So it gives us, as the training provider, the opportunity to work really closely with you just to top up those things where you didn't do so well. Okay.
Thank you.
Let me move on to level 3 digital support technician, just very quickly. So this is a new program. And it's an IT program. So whether you work in a large or small company, the public or private sector, organizations look to digital support technicians to accomplish their digital and IT business goals. If you've got a passion for digital technology, can solve problems and work under your own initiative, this could be the career for you. As a digital support technician, you'll be diagnosing digital service gaps, implementing new technologies, changing projects for the better. The types of things you'll be doing in that role is cloud operation. It would be first line support in this role, and also application online service support, okay, to internal and external stakeholders. All right. Our cybersecurity apprenticeship. Cybersecurity technicians are found in all sectors of businesses worldwide, where data is held digitally and where that information is an asset that needs to be protected. This is where the cybersecurity technician comes in. They're in an individual who provides first-line cyber security support and are required to monitor and detect potential security threats, implement cyber security mechanisms, and apply cyber security procedures and controls. Types of things you're going to be doing in that role is incident reporting, ethical hacking, you'll have a go at that, security engineering, and vulnerability testing are the types of things you'll do in cybersecurity.
Ollie's just asked a question here. He says, for the cybersecurity role, would you be preventing hackers?
Absolutely, yes.
Brilliant.
We teach you how to ethically hack, so then you can catch then the hackers. Okay. Let me just flick on slide. And so 2 apprenticeships that are coming soon. I've just seen Melanie's question. I'll come to that. Let me answer Melanie's question that I've just seen. What's the difference between hacking and ethical hacking? So hacking is where someone will try to infiltrate your systems. Now, just remember that I'm a digital marketer, not a cybersecurity person. So this is my knowledge about cybersecurity and IT. Hacking is where someone will try and infiltrate your systems. Sometimes hold them to ransom. It might be that they want to steal information or data from you. So that's what a hacker would do. An ethical hacker is somebody who would be trained to do that, but to be able to support you as a business to stop being hacked. Okay, so ethical hacking is about supporting businesses to stop hackers. Okay. Coming soon, we have 2 apprenticeships coming really soon, moving into June and July. The first is software development. Okay. Software development technicians are typically part of software development. The main focus is to build simple software components, which are mobile, web, or desktop applications. These will be used by other members of the team for larger software development projects. Software development technicians are also in charge of interpreting design requirements for the discrete components of a project whilst under supervision. A software development technician will also implement code that's been developed by team members to produce a required component. Also testing specific components, making sure it meets its intended functionality. Our final apprenticeship that's about to be launched again June time is data analyst at level 4. Now, data analysts typically collect, organize and study data to provide business insights. A data analyst is involved in managing, cleansing, abstracting, aggregating data, alongside conducting a range of analytical studies on this said data. The projects worked on can range in a variety, as a data analyst will provide technical data solutions to a range of stakeholders and customer issues. Data analysts have a good understanding of how data structure, database systems and procedures, and the range of analytical tools are used to undertake a range of different types of analysis. Okay, so that's our number of apprenticeships that we currently have available. Let me just answer the salary question. So as a digital marketer, as a qualified digital marketer, once you've qualified with your apprenticeship, you could be looking at salary brackets at most of these, the digital marketer, the digital support technician, cybersecurity, kind of mid-20s. Okay. First line support, 20 to 25,000 pounds a year as a digital support technician. Second line support, that's usually somebody with a little bit more experience who who has got a number of years of experience, has got additional qualifications, it would be around 30 to 35,000. Cybersecurity, when you're looking at second line support, so you are the person that people escalate things to, you'd be looking at kind of 40 to 45,000. Digital marketers, as you start to specialize, so pay-per-click advertisers, could be on that kind of salary bracket, 35 to 40. As you move into more experienced marketers, you're looking at, in the 40,000 mark. Digital support technicians, third line support. Now, this would be probably the most knowledgeable person in IT. They're on salaries, the salary brackets for third line support. And you can Google these yourself. These figures are taken from Reed, are usually in the region of 40 to 50,000. Cybersecurity technicians, because it's a real specialism, you can earn anything up to 50 or 60,000 when you are fully qualified, fully experienced, 5 to 10 years experience. Software developers and data analysts, well, these are real specialist roles. So, I mean, if you look, I think we did some research last week in terms of Reed. There were jobs advertised for low-level software developers at 25,000, and then real experience roles at 50 and 60,000. So it's really worth looking at the type of role that you really want to do in terms of apprenticeships, and what's going to be of an interest to you. Software development would absolutely not be for me. It's code. It's it's real technical coding. I'm a creative, so I'm a digital marketer by trade. I'm educated now, but by trade I'm a digital marketer, and it was the creative that was for me. So if that's more about you, then digital marketer is the one for you. Okay. So going back to that question, are you a digital influencer? Digital influencers are often paid to promote the product, or paid to promote a service or show a service, even if they don't like it. So I think the issue with being a digital influencer is that opinions can often be biased, towards a product. Digital influencer, this technique of marketing is now oversaturated, and a lot of influencers are often paid to promote a product. It's now not a trustworthy source, as the person promoting it may not even use the product or like it. And actually, you might only hit a small percentage of people who would be interested in that product or service. What's really exciting, actually, is that being a digital marketer, you promote the product or service like you would as a digital influencer, but actually you're going to be working for a business. You're going to give core information about the product or service. You're going to make sure to hit your key audience, highlighting strengths of the products and services. And you're going to be a more trusted source when it comes to advertising, because it's from a business, it's from a company, it's from a company itself with a name, with a brand name. So it's therefore easier to meet your target audience, because it's going to reach a lot more people, a larger percentage. Okay. Last couple of bits of information for you, just about apprenticeships before I move on to the last part of the presentation. So our apprenticeships, you would be employed, because I know we'd seen some questions in here earlier. You would be employed by a business, and our business development team would work really closely with you to look at your interests and we'd match you up with an employer. So you would then go and work for an employer for 12 to 15 months, being paid a wage whilst completing your apprenticeship and completing the qualifications. Each of the apprenticeships we run has a number of standalone qualifications. So the digital marketer, you would come away with 4 separate qualifications. The digital support technician, 3 standalone industry recognized qualifications. The level 3 cybersecurity is the same with 3, as is software development and data analyst. So you'd come away with 3 standalone qualifications as well as the apprenticeship. So you'd be working for a business, getting paid a wage, coming into classes. So all our classes are done remotely, online, via Microsoft Teams. So you would do the learning on Microsoft Teams, usually 1 week per month for the first 4 to 6 months. And then you would work really closely with a skills coach, a back-to-work skills coach, to embed the learning that you've done in the classroom into the workplace. So you work with the skills coach and your employer, your line manager. Okay. So just for you, Heather, we have another poll then.
It's fine. Is it the have you considered a digital apprenticeship?
It is.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I'll set that up for. Well, I'll press go now. Just while we're doing this and people are answering, though, Jacob asked a question which I think is relevant to what you've just spoken about, which is, why is a digital career important to consider in this digitally evolving world?
Can we pause that question? Because that's a question I'm going to ask, unless Oliver, do you want to have an answer of that question? I just think it'd be good to bring in you in here, Oliver, if that's all right, to answer Jacob's question.
Are you there, Oliver?
Yeah, I'm here. Just the cameras.
Yeah, don't worry about it. That's fine. We can hear you just fine. So So just to remind you, Jacob's question was, why is digital career important to consider in this digitally evolving world?
Yeah, I think the question does actually kind of answer itself. The fact that things are changing, as often and as quickly as they are, there's technology's moving in certain ways. Everybody can see, automation and stuff. That's all becoming a thing, and it's reaching a tipping point from my eyes where now they need to start future proofing, and as we move to a more digital society, working from home roles, they've taken off a great deal. Remote meetings like the one we're having now, 10 years ago it would have been held in a conference room somewhere. We would have been up on stage, etc. So yeah, I think just that's where it's going, and you're better off getting ahead of the tide while you can, kind of thing.
Brilliant, thank you.
Yeah, and I think just looking at some of these comments are in here, I would absolutely agree with some of these. Aldi, amazing. Just their stuff is just brilliant. Aldi versus Marks and Spencer's, that's hilarious. And I know there was the big battle with what's the caterpillar called?
Well, Colin, if you're in
Colin, the caterpillar, he's hilarious. And actually, it probably has done them more favours than it did them harm, if I'm honest. Because I would never, as an older person, it's not something I'd ever think of with birthday cakes, but it certainly will be this year. It's on my radar now. because of that. So yeah, it's good. It's really good. Lad Bible, Innocent. Some local shops near me use humour. Absolutely, it's fabulous. And I think it's about engagement. It's about engaging your audience. It's also about knowing your audience, as you know, as Ollie's just said. You know, we are changing. We're living in a changing world, and I think to engage that audience is quite important. To get them on side. Okay, good. So the poll, 85%. Okay, that's really interesting. I think that the UK often talk about the digital skills gap, and we see that. We have lots of employers crying out for apprentices. Please, can you help us to support our IT infrastructure? You know, we really need new talent, new fresh talent, because what's happening is that a lot of the people that are in IT, there's a lot of people retiring now, and they need to replace that. And of course, there's a bigger need. So, you know, quite exciting environment to be in at the moment. Okay. So what I thought I would just do, I've got about 5 minutes, so I'm going to have to rush through this just a little bit, is I wanted to just teach you something that you can take away. Anybody that's doing GCSE or A-level business, this might be useful to you, but anybody who wants to study marketing, this might be of interest. So when we talk about marketing, we talk about the marketing. I've just seen your question, Sophie. I'll have a look at that afterwards, if that's okay. The marketing mix. When we talk about marketing, we talk about the marketing mix. And the marketing mix is made up of 4 Ps. The 4 Ps is the original marketing mix. It has been extended in further years to 7 Ps. There was 8 Ps, and somebody did 10 Ps recently. But the 4 Ps is the main focus for the marketing mix. So marketing mix it's referred to as a set of actions, or it's tactics, or it's a way that a company uses to promote its brand or product in its own marketplace. Okay, it's made up of 4 key points known as the 4 Ps. So product. So what are you going to sell? Is it a service? Is it a product? Are you consulting on something? What is it that people are going to buy from you? Price. How much do you charge? How much does it cost? How much are people going to pay for it? Okay, so that's the price. Place. Where do you promote your product or service? Where can people buy it from? Where do your ideal customers go to find information about your industry, about that product, about that service? And finally, promotion. So how do your customers find out about you? What strategies do you use for them to be able to see your product? And are they effective? Do they work? You know, are you spending hundreds and thousands of pounds of pounds on pay-per-click advertising to get you to the top of Google? And actually, your product isn't something that someone would Google. Okay.
Have you seen Sophie's questions in the chat here?
I have seen her questions. I have. I was just going to finish what I was, because I didn't want to get distracted from the.
Sorry, from my completely distracted you.
I have, Heather. I've got a terrible habit of getting distracted, and then I lose my track. So I thought I'll just come back. So Sophie's saying, how should businesses deal with the downsides of social media examples? Someone calling their brand bad. Okay, so I worked for a hotel chain. I looked after 26 hotels. I did the digital marketing, social media, pay-per-click advertising, website development for many of those hotels. One of them down south, I'm going to say, I won't tell you the name, had a food poisoning outbreak. Wasn't great. And it went a bit boom on social media. And the way that we dealt with that is we recognised it. So we recognised it. We apologised, and then we took the users, the followers on socials through the journey that we took to make that situation better. So things like education of the kitchen staff, you know, they all undertook basic advanced food hygiene courses. So we followed their journey in the classroom, and then when they were certified. And actually people liked us doing that because they knew that we were really making a difference, you know, to the way that our food came out of the food came out of their kitchen.
I suppose one thing here that is what you did basically was recognise the problem and
Exactly.
not at all try and shy away from it, even though that would definitely be the easiest thing, to just put your head in the sand and hopefully it blows away. The news probably would blow away, but then the damage of the reputation of the brand wouldn't.
Exactly. And you know what? I think it took 12 months to build back up, 12 to 15 months to build back the reputation. Going from a packed restaurant every night to an empty restaurant every night, you know, for months and months and months and months. It's hard. It was really hard. You know, but we didn't shy away from it. We just we took it head on and
showed what you were doing to fix.
Showed the journey. Exactly. And I think it's quite important to do that. What are the additional 2 P's and some P's best to use? I would stick with these 4 P's. It does depend on your business. The 7 P's would be more if you were selling a service. So a service, something that you're not going to buy. People, process, and physical evidence along with the foreshore. Yeah, thanks, Jacob. So service I would use 7 P's for. So I don't know, selling a car wash, for instance, or selling a cleaning service, you know, where you're selling a service. 7 P's also is different to products marketing. Yeah, Sophie, I think there is slightly different. There's a different way of doing marketing, services to products, because services, you haven't got that physical thing that you can show people. You know, how would you find out whether the promotion has worked? For example, if you do TV advertising, it's classed as digital. TV is classed as digital because it'll be via video. I imagine I've personally never done any TV advertising, but I'm sure those that have would tell you that they would be able to you'd be able to get reports back from your TV production. I've done radio advertising before, and the radio company that I advertised with gave us listener figures. So I'm sure the TV company will be able to do the same. Do you use the extended marketing mix for digital marketing too? Yes, you can absolutely do that. So with this bit of learning that we've just done for the marketing mix, product, price, place, promotion, I've just given us a really quick example. I've only got 2 minutes just to talk through this, so I'll just be really quick. I'm sure you've all heard of this company. This is a company called Disney. Disney has an absolute stack of companies, and these are just a few that I've put on here. What I thought was really interesting with Disney is the COVID. If you've forgotten what COVID is, it's where we're all locked down in our homes. Nobody could go out or see anybody, and we all had to wear masks. That was COVID, just in case anyone's forgotten. It really affected Disney and affected revenues. Okay, now in 2019, Disney launched a thing called Disney Plus. And I put down it was the 12th of November 2019 when they launched Disney Plus. On my slide, I've put down some little pie charts. The one on the left is 2019 to 2020 income versus 2021 to 2022 income. Now, what's really interesting about those two bar charts is the blue is the one that we're interested in, because the online stuff. So the blue is things like Disney Plus. So you can see that on the right hand side that Disney Plus made up 38% of their overall income, compared to only 12% when it was first launched. Okay. So when we look at Disney products, we've got films, we've got theme parks, merchandises, or merch, Disney Plus. The price, subscription-based products, one-time entry fees and costs, so that's for the amusements. They advertise online and offline, and promotions are done via advertising, PR, direct marketing, paid ads, and on social media, and remarketing as well. But with COVID, we were locked down, so we weren't allowed to go to the theme parks. Cinemas were closed, so we couldn't go and watch their new Disney movies. So they put those Disney movies onto their channel, okay, onto Disney Plus, so we could see new movies on there. And actually, over the next year, the next 2 years, people have continued to sign up to Disney Plus. Okay, so even somebody like Disney, my point here is even someone like Disney have started to go online. The offline in that category is things like theme parks and the merchandise. Okay. So the 4 Ps. Everybody has a look at the 4 Ps when they're putting the marketing plan together to consider what they're going to be doing to move that forward. Okay. So we've just got about 5 minutes left, and we're going to meet Ollie, if that's all right. That's his picture.
Camera's still not working.
Camera's still not working. We can see what you look like anyway. Fabulous. Look, we've only got a few minutes, Ollie, so I know we've got a couple of questions here that we'll just go through. So, can you just tell us about you and your career before apprenticeships, please?
Yeah. So, quick rundown is left school, went to college, dropped out of college, then started working. So my first job in a warehouse. Humble place to start. I think a lot of people get jobs like that from the beginning. And then did that for just about a year, went into construction, had 3 or 4 jobs within construction, went self-employed, did that for like a year. And then I just decided I wanted a bit of a change. So that's when I moved over to digital marketing.
Okay, fabulous. Why did you choose an apprenticeship?
Yeah, so the ease of access were the main draw for me for apprenticeships, having done a few in the past. They're pretty easy to walk into, ultimately. The entry requirements, it's a fairly low bar, and if you need anything that you haven't got, they tend to help you out. They'll put you through the exams that you need, get the qualifications that you need as like a minimum requirement. And then gaining work experience. I've brought up in the slide beforehand, uni versus apprenticeships. To me, at least, I think there are a lot of people who prefer the academic path, and coming in like mid-level rather than starting at the bottom and working your way up. But I think a lot of the time getting in a business a few years ahead of those people, even though your qualifications might not be as big accolade kind of thing, you're better off because you can show off your actual work versus being judged on a piece of paper, qualification.
I agree, Ian. I think what's really exciting is that actually, if you wanted to be a digital marketer, like you're doing now, you complete your level 3, apprenticeship, which, as you know, is worth 2 A levels. The Back to Work group now, as you are well aware, Ollie, now offers the level 4 marketing executive. So you have to have completed the level 3. And level 4 is equivalent to the first year of a degree. And then there is now the opportunity to go and do a digital marketing degree apprenticeship. So you'd then do another 2 to 3 years on an apprenticeship, studying digital marketing at level 5 and level 6, which then would give you a full degree. But you've done it whilst doing an apprenticeship. You know, why digital marketing? Why did you choose digital marketing, Ollie?
Yeah, so having a lot of experience like across the board, you know, a bit of a jack of all kind of thing. One thing I noticed between going from job to job is I kind of ran out of steam on them pretty quickly. And, you know, it took a while to come to realise why, but it was mostly because I was finding myself getting bored. You know, you're in a job for a year, you learn everything that you need to know about the job, and then all the job becomes is repeat that daily. You know, task day. But as Jacob pointed out as well in the chat earlier, digital marketing it's constantly changing. Since I've started, you know, in the last 2 years, so much has changed. There's been scandals all over the place. Data laws have changed. Marketing tactics have changed. You've seen an influence in influencers, and it's no 2 days are the same. Basically, there's a lot to learn, and you never really get bored because you never master it.
That's funny. You're right, and I think what we've seen recently, you know, things are ever changing every week. Something new comes on, or a different technique, or yeah, something like that. It's really interesting. Just a really quick insight into your journey with the B2W Group, if you could, for me, please.
Yeah. So I was signed up, or actually referred by a friend who were also doing a digital marketing apprenticeship. And this is, well, we're in the phase of, you know, kind of wanting a bit of a change in my day-to-day. So I was asking him what he does in his job, you know, doing marketing. And he was telling me about it. And I'm like, you know, that sounds great. Where can I sign up for that kind of thing? And he just passed me an email of one of the skills coaches who I then got in touch with. They started, you know, speaking back and forth about what qualifications I've got, what I'm hoping to get, all this kind of thing. And then, you know, before I know it, induction, found a placement, which I got offered a few things, and it were basically like, you pick the one that you think is going to get the most out of the apprenticeship. So I ended up initially working for a new newspaper publication, doing journalism, you know, that kind of thing. So that's what I wanted to branch out in initially. But, you know, as with most things along the way, I did hit a few difficulties, as you know, Dean.
Well, COVID,
yeah.
great.
COVID was a big one. Kind of put things on hold for a while. But speaking as someone who's definitely not set for the academic setting, you know, I think there is a lot of praise to give in the amount of support that you receive. You know, for someone who's, you know, like I said, like me, when I was struggling to do the coursework things and a bit of time management, the resources and assets are there and provided to you basically straight away as soon as you say, I'm struggling with this, can you help me?
Yeah, and I think Gavin in the questions has put what was the hardest part of your apprenticeship, and I think would you say that was it?
Yeah, that's definitely it, is keeping on top of workloads and stuff. And I think it's a sign of where I've come from work wise in doing menial tasks most days, and, you know, manual labor kind of things. You do your job and then you're done, and that's not how marketing works at all. There's always something else that you can be getting in front of, kind of thing. So even though you think you've done, it's like, no, you don't just rest now. Now you've got to carry on finding out what else you can learn.
Good. No, good. Just one last question then for you. If you were to offer someone considering an apprenticeship a single piece of advice, what would it be?
Go for it. as corny as that is, it's a free thing to do. It's not like, it's not like signing up for uni where there is a lot. I've known people who've signed up, done 2 weeks at uni, and then been like, this is not for me. And it is a bit of a sticky situation to get out of sometimes. I'm sure some places, for things like that. But in terms of a job, if you decide you don't like it, you can leave at any point. And if you change your mind, you can be like, I've had this little bit of experience. I've now found that the job wasn't for me. So I'm going to go and, maybe pick a different apprenticeship.
Okay.
They're not easy to get into, but definitely just go for it and gain the experience and get ahead of, other people in your generation that you're going to be competing with along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one question I think that's left from Charlie, just for you, Ollie, I think, is what is the best thing about your apprenticeship?
That's a hard one to pick.
Me? Me? No, I'm kidding.
I think it's the maybe more to do with the actual industry itself, but from day one, basically, depending on placement, I'll not say everywhere's perfect, but you're encouraged to share ideas, and you can see the way that your input shapes the way that business practices change. If, for example, if you work in an office, they've never had social media presence, you can go in there, start implementing that kind of thing, showing off what difference you've made to the business, and then that's going to come back and shine on you. And that's always a great feeling.
Yeah, good. No, I'd echo that, absolutely. Thanks, Ollie. Really, really appreciate that. And I think we've run over slightly, Heather. I'm really sorry.
It's all right. It's been brilliant.
Time fly when you're having fun.
I know, yeah, absolutely. So many questions. I want to first of all thank everybody who's logged in today, and they've just been so bouncy and lively and engaged and asked so many questions. So I hope that you've all found it really interesting and you've got all of your questions answered. There is a link here. There's a link on the screen, in the sticky note, and on the chat to inquire and find out more. And Charlie asked whether we'll be sending the link out to apply. Yes, we will. So everybody that's here today and the people who've registered, so who couldn't make it either, they'll get the link to the recording and the link to actually find out more and apply. So don't worry about that. So yeah, it's really time for me to wrap up. Thank you again to everybody here. Thank you to the B2W team. Such a great, informative, interesting presentation session. Thanks from Career Map. And yeah, hopefully everybody here will see you for another session during Work Experience Week.
Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.